So there's a creator going around right now named Willlltouchesgrass, and before we even get into what blew him up, let's just address the obvious. That name already sounds like somebody got suspended from recess and turned it into a brand. But the reason people suddenly started paying attention is not because he was some huge established YouTuber. Publicly, he looked more like a smaller, newer creator still trying to build an audience fast. That's what makes this whole thing even crazier. This was not some giant internet celebrity with years of history behind him. This looked more like a smaller creator trying to force himself into the spotlight in the dumbest way possible. Now, as for where he's from and his exact age, I'm not going to sit here and make that up just to sound informed. I couldn't verify either one clearly from public sources, and honestly, that kind of says everything. The internet seems to know way more about the outrageous stuff he uploads than who he actually is as a person. And that brings us to the real background. What kind of content was he making before this? Because this is the part where you realize the controversy did not come out of nowhere. His page already looked built around shock value titles, taboo jokes, and saying the most uncomfortable thing possible, just to make people click. Not smart edgy, not funny edgy. Just that kind of content where you look at the title and immediately feel like your phone should clear its browsing history out of embarrassment. So no, this was not some normal commentary creator who randomly made one bad choice. This looked more like somebody whose whole lane was already built on making people say, "Bro, what is wrong with you?" And then he uploaded the title that sent everything into overdrive. DMing 100 minors. Until I meet JiDion. Yes, that is the title people saw tied to his channel. And the second people saw that, it was over. Because when you are a tiny creator and your breakout moment involves typing something like that into your own title, you are not climbing the algorithm. You are cannonballing into disaster. But here's the part that actually makes it even weirder. From the clips and reposts going around, he didn't frame this like some random joke. He basically framed it like he was trying to test JiDion. His angle seemed to be that he thought some of JiDion's predator catches might be scripted, or at least not as real as they look, and he said he was doing this for people who wanted to know if it was real or fake. He even talked like he was taking the bullet to prove a point. And that is where this whole thing goes from stupid to unbelievably stupid. Because think about the logic here. This man apparently looked at one of the most controversial corners of YouTube, said, "You know what would be a great way to test this?" and then chose the most insane possible method to get attention. That is not investigative journalism. That is not exposing a flaw in the system. That is the content creator version of trying to fix a smoke detector by setting your kitchen on fire. And the funniest part is that this probably sounded genius for about 6 minutes in his own head, like I can hear the strategy meeting now. Bro, what if we do something bold? Okay? No, like career-ending bold. Now we're cooking. Because once that title started spreading, people did what people always do online. They went digging. And when they clicked on the channel, it only got worse, because the whole page already had that same reckless shockbait energy. That's why this blew up so fast. It wasn't just the title by itself. It was the fact that people saw the title, clicked the page, and realized this whole brand already looked like it was built on pushing discomfort for clicks. So instead of this feeling like one random mistake, it felt like the final form of a creator who had already been trying to escalate his way into attention. And yes, that does get attention, but not the kind you recover from. Because the internet does not care whether you meant it as bait, irony, trolling, satire, or some galaxy brain publicity stunt. Once your name gets attached to something like this, congratulations. That is your identity now. You do not get to post a chill day in my life vlog next week and reset the vibe. You do not get to upload a casual Q&A and act like none of this happened. The internet does not forget. It bookmarks. And that's really the bigger story here. Willlltouchesgrass did not blow up because he was making amazing videos. He blew up because he found the exact point where clout chasing turns into self-destruction. His content already looked like it was built around shock, taboo, and making people uncomfortable for clicks. And then he pushed that formula so far that instead of getting a normal viral moment, He turned himself into the exact kind of YouTube rabbit hole people click on, just to make sure it's real.